So a narcissist made you cry. This is going to happen to most people in a relationship, and the narcissist doesn't view tears like a normal person does. When someone cries in front of you, normal people have empathy. You feel bad and you want to comfort that person. The narcissist sees this as you trying to manipulate them because they suppress their emotions, because they are a rational being, hyper rational, to the point that it becomes almost evil. It feels evil because they are cold and manipulative. They are very matter of fact. They're not wondering why you're crying on an emotional level. They're thinking, why was this person crying? They're probably using it as a manipulation tactic because I've been caught. I did something bad to them, and now they think that by crying, they can get me to submit to them, to do this or that. That's how the narcissist thinks. In terms of psychology, the narcissist is stuck on a very primitive level. They're the very early beginning stages of human development. When a baby crawls forward or goes backward, that is the first human stage of development. We either go towards things or go backwards away from them. The narcissist thinking is stuck at that developmental age. The one that follows it, which we associate with our left and right orientation, or is the emotional development stage. They never develop that emotional stage that most people do, where they start developing empathy towards others. The only time I ever saw my narcissist cry was when they lost money, when they lost status, because they're going backwards, and to them, they that's a hurt to their ego. They aren't thinking about, oh, the person that I hurt, stopped giving me money because of this and that. They're not crying because they're hurting on that emotional, oh, I lost someone I love or I hurt someone I love. They were just simply crying because they lost status, they lost money. And since this is the way narcissists view tears, people see the world through their lens, through their perspective. And so when you cry, they're not thinking, oh, this person's hurt, let me comfort them. They're thinking, what did this person lose? And I guess I might be at fault to it. So, and narcissists don't like that. So they're going to gaslight you. They're going to put the blame on you. They're going to say, this is your fault. You're crying because you fell in love with me. That's not my fault that I lied and manipulated you into this situation. So tears for a narcissist are very surface level. There's not too much deep meaning at all to a narcissist. When you really see the fundamentals of how their mind and operates, there's just not too much substance to them. That's why they always feel kind of empty, like a ghost. Like there's this uncanny thing about them. Like, if you ever heard the term crocodile tears, that's kind of like what the narcissist is. Like, even when they cried, I could feel that they weren't like coming from like this emotional place. They were just coming from this very superficial loss. And even in that moment when they were crying, they asked me, because this was post breakup. They're asking, why didn't you want me? And it wasn't in just. It's always focused on them. Like, why didn't you want me? Why are you crying? This is affecting me. It's this me mentality, and it's not even on an emotional level of like, how is this emotionally affecting me, like as in the narcissist. It's like, why is this happening to me on that very cold rational level? But we cry for many things. It's our world has been shattered. We finally have seen through the lies and manipulation, and we realize that this was all a lie. It was all a facade that the narcissist put up for us, and our world is shattered. And that's why we cry. We cry because it hurts. We are actually feeling our emotions, and this is very devastating. And most people never get past this stage, because a lot of people, especially the people who label themselves as an empath, they are like, the narcissist is stuck at that first developmental stage. A lot of empaths are really stuck in that emotional stage of life where they feel it too much. They take on the emotions and the suffering of other people too much. I had a friend who, if you, she was a Reiki teacher, and she was a very like intuitive, like very cool, special person. Like, she almost had like these incredible psychic powers, which a lot of empaths, if they're really are a legit empath, they have like this almost sixth sense, this ability to just like read people's minds, read how they're feeling, and like predict the future. As like weird as that sounds, like I even had like things happen like that to me when I'm like really like into like that side of that spiritual side, where I'm like meditating every day and like reading tarot cards and doing all that stuff, like I get really like intuitive, and I develop this like sixth sense. It's something I don't really focus on these days, but point being, this person was so empathetic. They leaned so much towards that developmental stage. I would always have to console her, and she's always like very lethargic from taking on other people's energies. Like it's just a developmental stage that we get stuck in, just like the narcissist is stuck there. And there are methods, therapy methods to get a narcissist out of that stage. But the main difference between us and the narcissist is the narcissist doesn't see a problem with what they're doing. They see a problem when like they're not getting their way, but they think that their actions, their callous evil behavior is okay. Where people that have at least develop onto the next stage, they self-reflect, something the narcissist hardly does. But we self-reflect too much, and we dwell on these bad things that happen to us. But it's normal, it's normal. But we're stuck too much in that stage. What we need to do is go back to that stage the narcissist is in, really, and get rid of that body mind disconnect. We're stuck up here as empaths, or just anyone that's been hurt by a narcissist. We're stuck up here, but we're forgetting about the body. You're forgetting that we've been trauma bonded. We've had this effect on our nervous system, our whole body, and that connects our mind. That our body produces our thoughts. And when we're ignoring the physical stress and damage that being in a relationship with a narcissist caused us, it keeps us stuck. It keeps us stuck in that place where we could keep crying. I remember, like, self-admittedly, I would wake up in tears. Like, I would go to bed sad, wake up in tears, like have these brutal nightmares, and it's just that's just the body stressed out. And now we know how the narcissist views your tears, and we're not gonna get through to them. I mean, maybe, but are you really gonna waste time trying to convince someone that doesn't even think they're wrong to feel bad? And also, why would we want to do this? Why someone like that, if we even convince them, if we try to seek out that apology, it's just gonna hurt them. They narcissists have this very fragile ego. Like it's almost like they're walking around without like any psychic protection. And if you put that, if you force them to deal with that, it could hurt them too. So, and then what do you gain out of it? You might gain a bit of temporary satisfaction that finally this person, I got the relief of them knowing that they hurt me. But that's really more for you than them. Like you don't need to have them realize that they hurt you, that they made you cry to feel better. What's really happening here is we're focusing, it's all on them because the narcissist does this, because they get us to think the way they do. You need to pull your energy back from them. If you need to cry, if you need to do whatever you need to do, like kick and scream, like just stop running away from those emotions like the narcissist. This is the secret of the trauma bond. We are starting to think like them, and a narcissist will never get over you, but you can get over them because you aren't a narcissist. But a lot of people, especially highly sensitive people, the empaths, they get stuck at that emotional level and they just keep feeling that emotion. What is emotion? It is a sensation from your body that then produces thoughts. So you're stuck in that bad emotional state, it produces thoughts, and it's just this repeating loop and cycle that you're stuck in. Now that you realize it, you can now break out of it. And it's going to take time. Everybody, it's going to be different. Some people are really strong on a mental level, right? And they can get over trauma and past hurt in days. Some people it takes weeks or months, however long it may take. But knowing this is gonna let the process begin and let you just move on with your life. Or if you really want to, if you're really trying to be toxic, go back to the narcissist and try again. But how many times? How many times do you have to try with someone that you now know isn't even sympathizing with you on not even on an intellectual level, let alone an emotional level?